Look from the book, presented by Top Sport.
It's time now to meet our man and talk to our man at Top Sport. It's the immaculately groomed Tristan Merlehan. Welcome, Trist.
Yeah, g'day boys. Yeah, had to brush the hair today. I didn't get around having a shave, but had to get myself ready to have a chat to you boys, and out to the footy tonight at Titans Park. So looking forward to that.
Geez, Turfy's introduction there was completely different to the whack he gave you before we were recording. Turfy, come on. Geez, you've backed back like there's no tomorrow.
We've been on for 3 months, this podcast, I would say, and it's the first time Tristan's ever bothered to brush his hair. And I just made that observation, that's all. I wouldn't have brought it up during the podcast.
Very accurate. So it'll probably be Melbourne Cup time by the next time it gets there once over again.
Good to see the weather's looking nice. Gee, that's a nice view out the office. It looked a bit average last week with the clouds in the background, but that is from where you'd rather be, Turfy.
Yeah, it is. It's probably a green screen, of course. May not be real.
All right, let's go back to last week. Zaki. Must have been an absolute fill-up for you guys.
Yeah, well, it was a big result. It actually looked like it was going to miss a place for a little while, which obviously when you do the money back, that would have been even bigger. But a few of the punters got their cash back there. But no, it was a sizable result. I didn't think it could get beat. I know you guys were trying to goad me into making it the lay of the day, but I thought it was over the line and it wasn't. So, yeah, very surprising, and we'll see what happens later on with that horse. But, yeah, it was certainly a good result at our end.
And just as a matter of interest, as a fours on favourite, I think it was. I was away, but does that stifle betting, or is there do people jump out of the trees because they think it's just better than bank interest?
Oh, you get a lot of multis through runners at that price. $1.50 shot or twos on is they're the ones where you generally get a pretty sizable book, because you only need to take a couple of bets on a few of the other runners that when something's $1.20 odd, that it does mitigate the stand a little bit, and then you get a lot of place activity too. So that's always those books are always a bit tricky to manage because you're trying to work out the true place price of the others.
Well, you weren't brave enough to make Zaki the lay of the day, but the lay was never in doubt. Hosier was always going to get beaten as soon as they came around the home bend at Caulfield. On a bit of a hot streak with the lays. We need to get on this sort of streak with the multi. But who are you going to be taking on this week, Tristan?
Yeah, it's a little bit easier to tip one to get beat than three to win. So
I can't just going back a step, we can't even get one to win at the moment. So,
well, maybe the punters have got 4 lays that they can go with each week, but we'll let them decide there. But I'm going race 4, number 2 at Flemington. Elza Me. I think it's $4 equal favourite. I just had Natural Mystic a clear pick in that race, and despite winning last start, I think as a 3-year-old, it's probably been up for quite a while. This prep barrier 13, I just think it's certainly a risk and probably under the odds.
All right, what about the Brisbane Carnival? We've got the Queensland Oaks this Saturday. It looks like we're finally going to get a decent track up there. Looking out your window, as I said, it looks beautiful and sunny, drying weather. What's the activity like up there during the Carnival or heading into this weekend of the Carnival?
Yeah, no, it's been perfect weather the last few days, which is... Like, the weather was okay on Saturday, but it had been sort of a bit wet on the lead up. So we're going to have a really good track, I feel. And yeah, the Oaks looks a really good betting race. We've seen Gypsy Goddess blow since we opened the market yesterday after the barrier draw, 370 out to 440. But there has been a bit of best of the best money coming to that runner. So I suspect it will continue to drift, but it will probably be still one that we're pulling its tail. The one that come for is last start winner, Barb Raider. It's been $11 into 8, and also number 12. It's been the best back by a long way. Aravine, $5 into 420. So they are opposing a few different runners. It's just trying to get a read on the form line, because obviously we've had wet tracks up here for a little while in Queensland, and then in Sydney as well over the autumn. It was pretty wet. So it's just trying to mesh up that form and get back to a good surface.
I had a filly once that ran second in the Queensland Oaks, or a share in a filly.
Who was that?
She was called Ungrateful Ellen.
Do you name her?
20s, 30s, 40s?
It was about 12 to 1.
Who was Ellen?
It was the mare was DeGeneres.
Oh, okay.
The mother, but we ran into a filly of Chris Waller's that beat us by about 3 lengths.
Fair enough.
Tristan,
it's called Winks.
Tristan,
yeah.
She went okay.
A bit stiff running into it. That was Winks' second win in her streak. She'd come off the Calandra Guineas.
There's a good one for the pub trivia. Tristan, I can see you've got your NRL Nuffy jersey on. How is the betting going for the Origin? Is there any early markers might suggest that, obviously you're a Queensland-based bookie, so that might not give the greatest indication, but How's that trending?
Yeah, it's been really good betting. Like when the market opened 2 months ago, New South Wales were very short, but they've had a couple of key injuries. Tom Trebojevic and Latrell Mitchell both out in the last couple of weeks. So it has evened things up. I think Queensland, despite having my maroon one-eyed glasses on, they do look like they've got a pretty strong side, but it's always tough to win down their first game in Sydney. So $1.60 favourites, New South Wales, $2.35 Queensland. The line's 3.5, but just looking at a few of these markets, the one that I'd be sort of looking towards, and we've got over 260 markets up on the game, but for the punters out there looking to find a little bit of value, the scoring in the NRL's been trending downwards this season, just with a few of the rule changes that your good friend PVL's brought in. And the total points actually seems to be quite high for an Origin game at 36.5. So I'd be looking at a few of your more exotic-based options, because I can see this game being a really tight affair, like your 12-8 scoreline, something along those lines. So there's plenty of exotic markets like 0 to 10 for New South Wales potentially. I don't see that being without the realms of possibility, and there could be some good value in those type of markets.
All right, I won't ask you about the dinner on Saturday. The two gentlemen to my either side have banned me, so we'll move on from that. Let's get into the multi. Turfy, what are you doing?
I am going to go Lyrical Lad the Place. And it is in race 6 at Flemington. Lyrical Lad.
The person who replaced you in the multi last week, a man called Hayden Ballantyne,
Yes.
back to horse,
pest.
$13 for the win.
Where'd it finish?
How'd it go?
It's about as good as your tipping has been going. lately.
Excuse me, but I think I was the only one to get a leg the last time I was on this show.
Well, you'd want to.
So Lyrical Lad the Place for me. I reckon he'll run the 2,000 out. Loves the wet.
Paul?
Ticks a lot of boxes.
I'm waiting to the last to sink us.
So you're going to
this
anchor
week.
the multi?
I'm going to sink us in the last two. I must admit, I'm a bit down on form, not only in the multi, but generally in punting at the moment. I couldn't back a horse on a one-horse race. Passive aggressive.
She's an extremely valuable potential broodmare, and you could be unseating her
I'm
picket
worried
fence.
about third up. I'm worried about the track. I just think.
Oh, well, that's why you're
You're
tipping it at
taking
64.
I'll be honest. I did the form last night, and I couldn't find anything I was confident in.
I like the way she was taken on last start and booted.
She's a super. Her trials before her debut
we
were
go.
so
And they're
good.
going to run her
So
a bit
good.
different. She's obviously been up on pace or leading. They're going to give her a sit this time, apparently.
Beware the horse on debut down the straight.
Yeah. Well,
I'm just giving you a heads up.
yeah, obviously from the big stable, they're confident that she'll handle it. Anyway, Turf, I can guarantee you that I'll probably sink us again this week.
They might scratch now.
Yeah.
They might scratch. So we might be a chance. I'm gonna
And you
take
with a designer stubble, what are you tipping?
designer stubble. I just haven't bothered to shave because I haven't been on air for a couple of days. So
It's the same every day. Before we move on, Turf, what about his teal? I know that listeners
I know the Teals had a great election, but you've clearly joined.
So Sally, his wife,
they've claimed power in my seat, so I'm just making sure I'm looked after.
Sally, his beautiful wife, does his shopping for him, so she's done a great job with the jumper.
She actually does. These things just turn up. They turn up in paper bags. She asked me to try them on before I take the tags off, and then away we go. So I actually cooked the democracy sausages up at the local school where a couple of weeks. Anyway, that's a bit of useless information.
What's your
My
multi?
wife did ask me to ask Martin what date the election was going to be because they were at the PA meeting the other night and they were trying to work out what day they were going to host
The state election,
The
which
state
is,
election, yeah. Anyway, I forgot about that, so I'm going to be in a bit of strife when I get home. That's a lot of digressing. I'm going with Cherry Tortoni, the place.
Good. I like that because he'll finish within a length of the winner if he doesn't win.
Patrick Payne, airborne.
Yeah, going
Billy
good.
Egan could win on a broomstick.
That old one. Yep.
We'll back it to win then.
No, I just think Harbour Views is a danger. He's trialled up really well. He won first up 1400. Little query on It's Our Time, first time out to 1400.
Yes.
I know he's desperately unlucky last time out, but he looked short enough for mine at
No guarantee he'll run 1400.
No, but I'm going to have something. Cherry Tortoni, the place. I think he's going to be my best each way player of the day. Tristan.
Well, there we go. So we got a bit of confidence coming out of the camp, I feel.
No, it's not confidence. If it sounds like confidence, it's
more resignation.
dressed up as confidence, I think.
And I believe we might have a little footy option in there. Would that be right as well that we're going to chuck in?
We do. Martin Pakula, the racing minister, he's gone with Brisbane to beat Freo. Freo
At home.
demolished the D's last week.
They did.
And he's gone with Brisbane to knock him off at home with Nat Fife. Is he back?
No,
Or is he
He's playing in the waffle.
The waffle. Who would have thought Freo would be in a situation where they can bring Nat Fyfe back through the waffle.
Yeah, unbelievable. And
We're not quite in that situation. I thought we might have been able to do the same with Turfy and bring him back through the reserves.
there is no reserves, Tristan. It's either you're playing in the A-League or you're in the heat.
That is outstanding.
Oh, you like the fact that he sort of...
That is outstanding.
What, you reckon
Tristan.
he said something moderately entertaining, do you?
Don't be upset, Turfy. Come on.
I'm here. Well, I'll tell you what, I'm going to do next week's show. I'll butter up again next week, and then you can have the show to yourselves for another month. How about that? Because I feel another holiday coming on.
Passive aggressive, race 9, number 9 for the win. Sherry Tortoni the place, 235. Lyrical Lad at 185 the place, and then the Lions to win. So that multi comes out at 23.70. So it's it's a sizable price. What I'm going to do, I might do the Pirate multi as well. I'll stick out another price on the website. If we get 3 out of the 4 legs, 1 leg short, we'll see what price that comes up. So we're going to have 2 bets there for the charity fund this week.
Tristan,
Good man.
it cannot lose.
The charity fund happens to be dying on the vine at the moment.
Dear, oh, mate.
Anyway, come on, move on.
All right, thanks very much, Tristan. Go and enjoy that weather. Maybe go for a little swim in the ocean.
Yeah, I'll do that. I'll make sure I brush my hair again for next week. So see you guys soon.
A Good 3 with Dr Turf, Matt Welsh and Paul Tatnell.